on Sri Lanka Tech Forum 2. My name is Dr. Naresh Bana and I am Vice Chairperson of Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce and Industry. It's a great honor for me to moderate this webinar this afternoon. Please allow me to share some webinar technicalities with you and present the sequence of events for the next 90 minutes. The duration is 90 minutes. The webinar is being recorded and is scheduled to finish by 5:40 p.m. We'll make the recording available on the Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber's YouTube channel subsequently. It is also being live streamed through ICTA on their Facebook and other channels. The raising of hands, question asking, and chat function is activated for the webinar. Please use as per the functionality of each provision. Questions from webinar participants are very welcome. We'll try to respond during the webinar at the end of all the presentations. And should that not be possible, we'll give you replies in writing later. We'll present each speaker ahead of the respective thematic presentation. After the presentation, there will be time, as I said, for the question answers with the webinar panelists. Please use question mark sign on your screen for sending your questions. Now, let me now introduce our first speaker, the Chairman of Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce, Lieutenant General Rakesh Kumar Lumba, PVSM, AVSM. He's from the Armored Corps of Indian Army, who had tenanted various appointments during his illustrious service. He's one of the founder chairperson of this chamber, providing the right vision and navigation. He has been the force behind the series of webinars being run by our chamber. May I now request you, sir, to give your opening remarks. Over to General Lumba.
Thank you, Naresh. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Lieutenant General Rakesh Kumar Lumba. And as the Vice Chairman has just said, I'm one of the founding members of the Indo-Sri Lanka Chambers of Commerce and Industry. It is therefore my very proud privilege to welcome you all to today's webinar. At the outset, I extend a very warm welcome to our esteemed speakers and guests, especially Mr. Geshan Disanaike, who is the first Secretary Commercial at the High Commission of Sri Lanka to India. He will also be giving the keynote address. Then we have Mrs. Chiranti Balapata Bendi. She is the Director, Industry Development at ICTA. The next speaker is Mr. Sachindra Samara Ratne. He is the Associate Chief Digital Economy Officer of ICTA. Closer home, we have Mr. Arun Dagar, who is the Executive Director of TCIL, and Mrs. Nandini Singh. She is a partner IBM Consulting. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our speakers, as also all of you who have taken time out from a very busy schedule to be present with us today. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the Indo-Sri Lanka Chambers of Commerce and Industry was conceived as a bespoke institution to fill a critical void, thereby giving a fillip to commercial and industrial activity. Today's webinar, Sri Lanka Technology Forum 2.0, as the name suggests, it is the second webinar on this subject. It will thus be an excellent overview and insight into the giant strides taken by both our nations in this crucial field. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. And now I will request the Vice Chairman to take on the proceedings.
Thank you, sir. Honorable delegates, let me now introduce Mr. Lakshmendra Jishan Desanaike, the first Secretary Commercial at High Commission of Sri Lanka in New Delhi. He's a professional diplomat and who has been a driving force for setting up this webinar. And I request you, sir, to take on your keynote address. Over to you, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, right. Thank you. General Rakesh Lomba, Dr. Naresh Bana, the members of ISCCI, Ms. Chiranti Balapatavandi, colleagues from the ICTA, esteemed speakers, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to express my sincere gratitude for granting me the privilege to address this esteemed webinar. The Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce and Industries was created with the objective of fostering bilateral and trade commercial activities between India and Sri Lanka. I would like to express my sincere gratitude to them for their steadfast and unwavering support. The Indo-Sri Lanka Free Trade Agreement can serve as a platform for entrepreneurs from both countries to increase bilateral trade, and trade relationship between India and Sri Lanka has been steadily growing year after year. In fact, the total trade between the two countries have reached an impressive $5.2 billion in 2022. India's exports to Sri Lanka alone have amounted to $4.4 billion, while Sri Lanka's export to India have reached $848 million in the same year. Despite the significant trade imbalance in favor of India, Sri Lanka's export to India are slowly but surely improving. It is common knowledge that our country recently faced an economic crisis. During this challenging period, India stepped in and provided much needed assistance. Their assistance amounted to a generous $3.8 billion, which included lines of credit, currency swap, and a deferral of loan repayment. Without this crucial support, the outcome might have been much worse. We are deeply grateful for India's timely and significant contribution. The economy of Sri Lanka contracted by 7.8% in 2022. It is projected to contract by 3% in 2023. However, there is cause for optimism, as it is predicted that the nation will start to experience an economic recovery in 2024. Sri Lanka has recently received the initial installment of the extended fund facility of the IMF. The total facility is equivalent to $3 billion. The purpose of this funding is to provide support for Sri Lanka's economic policies and reform. Sri Lanka is eagerly anticipating the commencement of the 12th round of ECA negotiations with India. This agreement is expected to deepen the economic relationship of our two nations. Sri Lanka is now fully prepared to engage in trade using Indian rupees, which will further enhance the bilateral trade relationship. The knowledge solution industry has been identified as a key player in Sri Lanka's economic growth. With aspirations to export $3 billion worth of services by 2025, I'm confident that the speakers from ICTA will provide a comprehensive overview of the opportunities available in Sri Lanka. In conclusion, I urge you to consider Sri Lanka as your next outsourcing destination, investment opportunity, or travel destination. Thank you once again for your time and attention. Thank you, Dr. Bana.
Thank you very much. Now, let me introduce the most moving force for this webinar, who persisted that we hold it at the earliest, and none other than Ms. Chiranti Balapathavendi, the Director, Industry Development, ICTA, and she is here And I request you to kindly not only give a little introduction of yours, but uh, carry on with your presentation.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bana. A warm welcome to this Technology Forum 2.0. As Dr. Bana mentioned, I think it was also Mr. Disanayaka, whom I must thank very much, as well as Dr. Bana, who made this possible. So a big thank you. And of course, Avinash has been right throughout calling me and getting in touch with me to make sure that this went well. So without taking too much of time, let me just present to you a little bit on ICTA and the work that we do. Just share my presentation. I hope everyone can see.
Yes.
Right. So just to give you a briefing of the ICT agency of Sri Lanka. The role of the ICT agency is that it's the apex ICT institution of the government mandated to take necessary measures on government policy and action plan with regards to the ICT or the information communication technology. It's a wholly owned institution of the government of Sri Lanka and provides national level guidance and coordination for an efficient and citizen-centric services. If you take the scope of ICTA, it runs into three specific verticals, which is a digital government vertical, which, as the name states, looks into the government IT requirements, the digital economy, where we contribute to the economy through ICT measures. And also we have the digital services, which is where we have services provided on the ICT area, such as cloud space and so on. We have digital laws and policies running across this. We in our team work specifically on the digital economy sector. The digital economy vertical consists of about 5 specific areas: the industry development area, the startups, diffusing of technology into other sectors, capacity building, and of course, we've divided the country into 5 regions. So we call it the regional cluster development. And we kind of transform digitally through this method. I mean, we kind of transform the country through this method. We have a couple of goals. We want 1,000 startups by the year of 2024, contribute $3 billion to the economy by 2024, and to have 300,000 IT professionals functioning by 2024. And how do we do this? What is mentioned over here in terms of enhancing the industry, promoting the destination, technopreneurship, building the capacity, diffusing technology, and transforming Sri Lanka in total to a digitalized country. If you take the digital economy snapshot of Sri Lanka as at now, it contributes 4.37%, yes, to the GDP of Sri Lanka. That constitutes of exports, which is about 1.7 billion. It constitutes of the domestic market, which is about 650 million, a vibrant startup ecosystem of 228 million US dollars, 140 million coming in from freelancers, $300 million also coming in from online platforms, and so on. So that basically constitutes that 4.37%. And also, we are looking at enhancing that workforce, which is currently at 175,000 in numbers. We look at the literacy, which is at 50.1% as at 2020. We look at the laws, the legal aspects. The Data Protection Act was enacted just at the instead of this last year, or it was almost at the end of last year instead of this year. And then we also had the global competitiveness. I mean, these competitiveness and all these indices are also followed up by us as being part of ICTA. These are a couple of accolades that we have received. I'm not going to touch upon each and every one due to the time constraint, but just to keep you posted. A couple of the main international and companies and MNCs present in Sri Lanka as at now. Again, I'm not going to touch upon all of them. What Sri Lanka offers for entrepreneurs and investors. We try to help do business easier on the ICT sphere. We try to look at innovation productivity. We try to look at a higher digital literacy rate. We are also looking at having industry-friendly technoparks and having the best quality workforce. These are some of the projects that we work on from our couple of verticals that we look into. I'm again not going to touch on all of that, but okay, this is an important area where we want the embassy, where we want the ISCCI to help us. We want you to help us spread the word about us, being the focal point for the ICT industry. So can you help us collaborate with other chambers, associations, the members in your case, to expand the network, to connect with maybe a startup ecosystem, to see the possibility of connecting with R&D opportunities, foreign universities, and so on, to look at the possibility of investment coming into the country to help position Sri Lanka as an attractive destination. And of course, if there are exhibitions that are being organized, to keep us informed of them and to see the possibility of collaborating in such events. So that's a basic idea of what ICTA does. And of course, our team in the digital economic sphere does. So thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to talk. And I wish that the rest of the program goes well and it will be useful to those who are participating. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Chiranti. And let me now invite Anadoc from Sri Lanka to give their elevator pitch. Over to Anadoc.
Thank you so much, Dr. Bana. Let me quickly share my screen. And let me go into presentation mode. Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen.
Yes.
Okay. To my colleagues joining from Sri Lanka and also prestigious guests from the Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce, and of course our team from ICTA Sri Lanka. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity where we can showcase some of the good stuff that we do on behalf of Sri Lanka to the world. So my name is Stivanka. I am the Customer Success and Pre-Sales Manager for Anadoc. And let me take you through a couple of slides, and I hope not to bore you. So if we talk about Anadoc, we call ourselves as a technology implementer for other business organizations, where we help them to grow themselves in a sustainable environment. And we provide different types of digital technologies where they can reimagine their clients and their different experiences, their cultures and business models. And we help them to implement technology into the core of their strategy. And as an organization who has a specialization, especially in the document management domain, we would like to call ourselves an organization who is in the forefront of taking sustainable business growth into other businesses. If I take you through some of the key achievements that we've done throughout our existence, currently with our product Anadoc and our associated products, we have 2,000 plus global users, and in that 2,000 plus global users, we are serving 150 clients. And in the team Anadoc, we have specialists who have the capability of implementing and developing solutions specialized in enterprise content management and document management. And our team is consisting of professionals who are certified in this particular domain, especially in AIM as ECM specialists. These are the three main products that we offer into the market as a product development company. If you can recall, I mentioned that we are a document management solution provider. Our main product is the name of the organization itself, Enadoc. It's a document management system, or we can call it an enterprise content management system, which actually help any business organization to securely manage their documents in a digital environment. And of course, they can easily retrieve the digitalized documents on demand. So we currently provide this solution both as a cloud hosted platform as well as on-premise deployed solution. If you look at the second solution that we have, this is a digital transformational tool that I would like to call as, which is a process automation platform, which will allow you to automate any process within the organization where it involves activities where you need to work with human judgment. The third application or the platform that we have developed is a e-signature platform. We call it EVR Sign, which allows you to automate your document signing process and to make it more efficient and productive. So let me take you through some of the features of each of these platforms. If we talk about Enadoc, as a document management platform, it allows you to manage thousands of documents in a digital environment. Because it is hosted online on a cloud environment, the scalability is immense. You don't have to worry about scaling your document management requirements. If you imagine that you need to physically maintain your documents, you can keep that thought away with Enadoc. That is possible with the cloud technology. And once you have your documents up there in the cloud, the accessibility to access it is very easy. If you happen to have a subscription along with the working internet connection, you can basically access these documents anywhere in the world. We provide extensive reporting, and we have our own document security called Enadoc Hexagonal Security. And through our API, we can help you integrate Enadoc to any of your existing systems or any systems that you plan to implement in the future. And our platform is built on top of Microsoft technology. So we by nature comply or integrate with any Microsoft related products. And of course, digitizing documents will help you to increase your journey towards zero carbon footprint. And these are some of the sectors that I would like to showcase as that we are currently involved in. If you see on the screen, starting from public sector to retail to healthcare, real estate, manufacturing, mining, oil, and telecommunications. So these are some of the sectors that we are currently having our clients, especially spread across the southeastern region of the world. And this is some of the benefits that you can understand from our process automation platform, Flodo. It's a low-code tool where anyone with very little understanding of technology can work with. And it also works with our own document management platform. So you can think of a comprehensive platform where you will have automated business processes, digitized document management within your business. And we, of course, have an affordable subscription-based model for all of these products. The final tool that I would like to showcase is EVR Sign. Without me explaining everything on this slide, I would like you to take a look at on this video. There you go. Just I ended the video. I have a little surprise for all of you. So if you are interested in getting your documents signed digitally, we would like to offer you a free 30-day period of product trial. If anyone is interested, you can reach out to our colleagues in ICTA so we can share how you can enroll in the trial. And of course, to our colleagues in India, our neighboring country, these are the potential avenues that we would like to explore through this engagement. We are looking for channel and reseller partners who can take our products to different markets within and outside India. And of course, we are looking to hold hand with different tech and system integration companies in India. And of course, we are open to having discussions with individual referral partners. So these are the expectations of NADOC. And thank you so much. If you have any questions, I am happy to answer a few.
Okay. Thank you, Tiwanka. The questions we will be taking after the completion of all the presentations. And I would now request the DMS. If you are ready, if you can start your presentation right away.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Bana. Let me share my screen. Let me know the moment the screen is visible to all the audience. Probably a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Bana, once again. And it was a great privilege to be part of this Sri Lanka Technology Forum 2.0. And thank you for Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce Industry and ICTA for giving us this opportunity to represent Sri Lanka from DMS. So we are a company called DMS Software Engineering, predominantly into engineering software products, and also recently embarking on providing or extending our services to other countries as well. Probably we would like to take this opportunity to be part of or be association with India to leverage on these services that we're offering. So we are one of the oldest IT company formed in 1977, almost counting 45 years in the business or other existence. Have done almost 200 plus software projects, local and overseas. Already we are in association with some of the global brands. So we have about 50 plus global association as of now, having 50 plus global and local support centers, and having 100 plus diverse resources, both technical and consultants. And we are also an ISO 27001 certified organization on information security. What we do, essentially, we are a product engineering company from the inception. And so we do product engineering, that's our DNA. So we have built application for diverse market segment, predominantly to BFSI and manufacturing sectors in Sri Lanka, and certain other products spanning across diverse market segments as well. And with the product engineering capability, we are extending the offer and the services to software development and consultant services to offshore locations. And these product engineering services will be extended to all the emerging Asian countries, as well as other already developed countries as well. And part of those offers are BPO and managed IT services, which I'll be covering all these services, how best we can add value to the existing, the supply chain to the global market through India. So we wanted to be part of the ecosystem to offer these services to India and other part of the world as well. In terms of product engineering, let me quickly go to the other slide, which actually talks about the solution that we are currently, in having the competencies and skills and exposure and experience to extend these services to all the part of the world. So we provide enterprise solution, which comes from the product engineering background. So as I said before, we are quite strong on the BFSI sector, having core banking solutions, which is offered to all the rural banks in Sri Lanka, and all the microfinancing companies across Sri Lanka, as well as we wanted to extend the same services to other part of the world as well. And that again comes on the product development. So we undertake bespoke software, product development. We understand the customer requirements. So we extend the services, either the product team or a dedicated team, to supply the resources from Sri Lanka, also to sell all the intellectual properties that DMS and Sri Lanka have already possessed to other market segments as well. And since we are a Microsoft partner, we do have possessed certain competencies on building application on .NET framework and the platform, and also into MERN stack development, which is a kind of an open source development platform or framework that we have adapted, and we have the resources to extend these services as well. The other three pillars of services that we wanted to offer is with the Microsoft, backing, SharePoint Online Development and Microsoft Power Platform. So these are the two other competencies DMS possess at the moment, have building so much of business application, modernizing business application for larger, small, medium enterprises to leverage the technology of Microsoft to build so many applications for business purposes. And we also do offer testing and quality assurance services to the rest of the world. These are some of the technology stack DMS is having the competencies to offer. Since we have a diverse audience at the moment, I'm not going to touch upon all these technology stacks. So predominantly, I wanted to say we are in par with all the latest technology stacks which the world is demanding. So we should be able to provide all those resources who are having the competency, the services to the rest of the world. And offshore software development and consultancy services. So we do have two ways to engage with the customers, or rather the prospects that who would probably looking forward to have these services from Sri Lanka. So one is on the product development with dedicated product team. The other one is extended development team. Assume a startup ecosystem which is forming across the globe or in India who really wants to completely outsource the entire product development lifecycle. So we undertake the entire intellectual property taken care by DMS. We build the solution and we give them the product that they have the business model to monetize. And also extended development team, if there is an overflow from Indian market and where they need additional resources to be handled, and if they really want those resources to be outsourced, Sri Lanka would be the right destination, as we have the competent resources to extend those services. So we should be able to extend the services from DMS as well. And in the BPO and managed IT services, we are covering the financial account outsourcing, data capturing and digitization, quality assurance services, and managed IT services. Financial accounting is nothing, but Sri Lanka has been recognized for the quality of services that we have offered to the global market so far from the IT BPM sector. So on the other hand, financial account outsourcing also been well recognized, as Sri Lanka have the standard accounting policies and the resources are well equipped with the standards, and that we do extend these services to other part of the world as well. And in terms of data capturing and digitization, it's nothing but it's essentially converting all the digital physical document to digital, and do data capturing and provide a kind of analytical services on the captured information. And quality assurance service, like once again, the same services that we do offer as part of our software development services to any part of the industry, we should be able to extend the quality assurance service as well. Managed IT services is nothing but we have the competent resources to work with any enterprises to extend their L1, L2 support from Sri Lanka, not only confined to the business application, but also on the side of infrastructure. So those are the few services that we do offer under BPO and managed IT services. From DMS, or rather from Sri Lanka, those who are presenting today and those who are witnessing all these discussions, we look forward to establishing the connection or the relationship with investors, channel partners, and software development houses and government entities. That is to look for investors to expand their offerings to take some of the intellectuals to Indian and global market. On the channel partner aspect, looking for prospective partners who would really wanted to take these services to the Indian ecosystem or industries, or rather take them through India to other part of the world. And also to be in association with software development houses to take care of the overflow requirement that comes in terms of the resource requirement. We should be able to extend our services. Getting ourselves introduced to the chamber to represent us in the territory they intend to develop the market, or any association who would probably can help us to expand globally, would be really helpful. So that's the end of my slide. Before I complete, as I think Shiranti also have covered why BPM and Sri Lanka BPM services needs to be looked at for various reasons. So as the accolades that Sri Lanka have actually received in the last few years shows that the quality and the importance of Sri Lanka to be a kind of a service destination for the global market. And we do have the contact details here. Probably whoever wants to scan and reach to our website can do this by scanning, and you should be able to get more information on our website. And thank you very much for the opportunity given, and wishing all the other companies who had already presented and going to present, wishing them the best of luck.
Thank you, Vijay. It was a very elaborate and thought-provoking presentation. Let me now introduce our next speaker, and I welcome Mr. Arun Dagar, Executive Director of Telecommunication Consultants India Limited, a public sector company of Government of India. Arun Dagar is a senior executive with more than 30 years of experience in telecom, IT, and healthcare industries with strong technical background, coupled with good market acumen and management experience. He has been a self-motivated, goal-oriented professional who's an effective listener, effective communicator, and has a strong service orientation with experience in presenting to and working with diverse stakeholders, including clients, executives, and regulators. He has been the managing director of Singtel India and Middle East, that is Singapore Telecom, where he has served for 2 decades. Presently, he is the executive director in Telecommunication Consultants India Limited, a Mini Ratna Class A central public sector undertaking stationed in New Delhi, India. Engineering graduate in electronics and communication from NIT and MBA from FMS Delhi. I now invite you to go ahead with your presentation, sir. Over to Mr. Arun Dagar.
I don't think we can hear you, sir.
Arunji, you are muted. Please unmute. What's wrong? We can't hear you.
Mr. Dagar, we can't hear you.
Okay. No, we are not able to hear you. You may connect with. Yes. Okay. Should we? All right. Mr. Dagar, are you coming in?
He's just coming in, Dr. Bala. So let's
see.
wait for a minute or so.
Yeah.
Hi, are you able to hear me now?
Yeah, exactly.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bana. Thanks for bearing with me. Good evening to all the participants to this webinar. I will just start sharing my presentation, though I have a number of slides, but I have been allocated 10 minutes and I am very much aware about that. So here I go. I hope you are able to see me.
Yes.
Thank you very much. As shared by Dr. Bana, I am representing Telecommunication Consultants India Limited as an executive director of this company. This company is a central public sector unit under Government of India. Company got incorporated in 1978 under Department of Telecommunication, which is Ministry of Communication. It is one of the Mini Ratnas, Class A Mini Ratna, which is a category of public sector in India. So this is one of the topmost category of public sectors. We have various certifications to our fold. TCIL has global presence in more than 80 countries. We have touched in one way or the other, doing the projects there or being there or having the offices there. So I can well say that we have almost covered the globe while doing the projects. If you see from this table, TCIL has been all along a positive company. The net worth as on date is around 76.3 million. Besides TCIL have few of the joint ventures. One is Bharti Hexacom Limited, which is providing mobility services in one of the states in western region of India and 8 states in northeast region of India. We do have any other joint venture which is providing manpower, skilled manpower to various departments in government and to private sector. We do have other joint ventures whereby we are doing the highway projects or managing those toll projects on the road. Besides this, we have our presence in countries like Saudi Arabia. We have our presence in Kuwait, Oman, Maldives, Nepal, and Mauritius. When I divide the services which TCIL provides, they are basically into telecommunication sector. When I talk about telecommunication, it is optical fiber, 5G, in-building solutions, etc., etc. Then we are into information technology. We are providing services on data centers, broadband networks, e-networks, etc., etc. Then we are into civil and architecture also. We are providing managed services. And then there are new initiatives like solar power, e-waste management, and other power line projects. When I talk about these sectors like telecommunication, information technology, civil and architecture, managed services, what do? We provide from consultancy to complete O&M 360 solution there. So we provide consultancies, we do feasibility studies, we do planning and design, we do engineering, we do turnkey execution, quality execution assurance, we even do third-party audits for various projects being done by other agencies. We do the complete project management and operation maintenance of such services. Few of the projects which we have done in IT and ICT sectors are important to share here. One of the big projects we have done is digitization of Indian postal services. We have provided a connectivity to around 130K branch post offices through US. So all the postmen carry those POS and they do digital banking from there, besides other services which a postman can provide. We have done a turnkey project on national internet backbone. We are doing projects on lawful interception monitoring systems. We have set up a wide area network. This is just to give you a glimpse of the projects, what we have done. So that one can get an idea about. We are running our call centers, dial 100 services for emergency, etc. When we come down to digitization of the services, we have provided e-procurement portal services. We do turnkey implementation of ERP applications, document management system, etc. One of the big projects which we have done, which is touching almost 48 countries in Africa, is our e-network for e-education and e-health. We have provided telemedicine network in SARC. We are setting up a virtual university for teleeducation as on date. We are doing digitization of schools in India with the ICT deployment. When we talk about fiber networks, again, I mean, just to give an idea, and I will run through very fast, we have done a construction of almost 13,000 kilometers of optical fiber, that is TCIL has done. We have provided broadband network consultancy for rural areas, covering up to Gram Panchayat and village level. We have done these projects, fiber to home in Saudi Arabia, United Arab Republic, Sultanate of Oman. We are first to introduce fiber to home in Kuwait. We are doing similar projects in Mauritius and Nepal. We have provided submarine optical fiber consultancy for connecting Andaman and Nicobar Islands with our main island at Chennai. We are doing submarine optical fiber cable network consultancy for connecting Lakshadweep Islands. This is just to show the kind of the span of services which TCIL provides as on date. Then we also do work on satellite services, microwave, tetra, and sitcoms. Another big thing, what we do is in civil and architecture. We have constructed a most intelligent smart building, which is Rural Electrical Corporation World Headquarters in Gurgaon, nearby Delhi. We have done construction of medical colleges. We have done construction of schools, and we have done construction of terminal buildings for airports at Teju Airport and various building works at Shillong Airport. Then we are doing, as I was sharing with you, various highway projects. We are doing consultancies for various cyber parks. Then, as I was sharing, we do provide services to various sensitive departments for lawful interception. We are providing crime and criminal tracking system for police, then consultancy services for various projects. I will quickly run through these services. We also do the services with railway telecom services, whereby we are providing them the MPLS network, the communication network, the optical fiber network, and integrated security systems. When I look towards what we can do together, probably we can play a role in e-education, e-health, smart city solutions, cyber security, network operations, disaster management and emergency response system, capacity building in telecom and IT skills. And that is what I heard that Sri Lanka is also looking at 300K kind of IT skilled people. Development of integrated tourism and enterprise projects. When I talk about e-education, basically we are talking about smart classrooms. There can be various ways of doing that and various solutions which TCIL provides us on date. And then other is a school management system, whereby the complete school is automated and everything is out there on software. We have a complete learning management system where there is a portal, student portal, teacher portal, and everything gets onto a net. Then we provide analytics on this learning management system. This is towards university management and school management. When we talk about e-health, we are talking about various OPD solutions. We are talking about a health information management system. In India, this is right now going on in states, in various states, and after it, probably it will get all move towards a pan-India kind of single health information management system, whereby the patient journey from a primary health center get tracked up to the tertiary health center and above. All the records are medically kept. It is again further integrated with the national medical insurance, which we call Ayushman services. Then telecommunication is a part of it, whereby the people from villages or remote areas or from the comfort of their home can get connected to the doctors in various government setups. The other important thing is smart city. While smart cities have three things: one, it should be safe city, sustainable city, and finally, it's a smart city. In India, as you know, almost I think 96 cities were declared to be done in last 3 years, and we have actively participated there. Setting up a integrated command and control center, setting up a mobility, smart mobility, then disaster management sensors, smart street lightings, e-governance services for the citizens, utility management, which involves smart meters. They may be electric meters or water meters, and smart kiosk and other things. So these are the all integrated part of smart cities. While I'm not going to rest of the segment of services which we can provide, but nevertheless, as there is opportunity, if there is, we can discuss offline those services. But I thought I will just recapture civil because I was not able to do much justice with them earlier in our earlier slide. So our civil and architecture divisions are doing various roads and bridge services here, building projects, airport projects. We are developing a port infrastructures here, water supply and sewage network, which is one of the key areas, at least in India, under Jal Jeevan Mission, whereby around 300,000 crore Indian rupees have been allocated in coming 5 years. Solid waste management is again a very big, challenging, and very wide opportunity for us. And we do also our interior design projects besides electrical and solar powers. So, I mean, our key differentiators are that we have done the projects in other countries. We know how the work is being done. There has been a lot of learning from this. And I think we can take these learnings to countries where we are given opportunity to work for. We are the only organization to have transposed one M2M European standards to India for smart entities. We have a proven track record and excellence in project execution. One of the profitable PSUs since the inception. That is something which we are very proud of. We have few marquee accounts to share, like Omantel, Saudi Arabia, Power Grid, and other big organizations in India. With this, I come to end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your patience. Thank you, Dr. Bana.
Thank you. Thank you, Arunji. It was quite a insight. In fact, a lot of learning for us, what all you are doing and where all you are operating. Now let me invite Nabil to share their elevator pitch with us. Over to Nabil.
Thank you, Doctor.
Please go ahead.
I hope the team can see my screen.
Yes.
Thank you for this forum, and thank you for giving us the opportunity as Enable to present ourselves. So Enable is a part of the Agility Innovation Group, one of the largest ICT group of companies in Sri Lanka. We believe in connecting people and things with intelligent insights for an efficient world. Agility Innovation Group consists of 5 large diversified IT companies doing around approximately $30 million in revenue, and with 600 plus employees, and have approximately 100 technology partners with us in delivering solutions. We believe in having long-term journeys with customers, preparing our clients for future, because we believe in that solutions cannot be silos and short-term. They have to be long-term, and build a partnership with our customers to give them the agility, and also give them the competitive edge over their competition. Who we are, as I mentioned, we believe in saying that giving our customers the digital leadership and engaging them over a period, making our customers future ready, both in terms of technology and in their business domains, and helping them to create that competitive edge over the customer, the competition. How do we help? We engage with our customers. Enable is present. We started our operations in Colombo, in Sri Lanka, and we have expanded into the ASEAN region, having our headquarters in Singapore and business presence in Australia and UK as well. We believe in that customer engagement starts at a very broad level, at the board level, where we engage with them, understanding their business strategies, understanding their business goals, helping them with the respective technologies around it. So we believe creating that the engagement at the very initial inception level and give that understand how the customer wants to be in the respective domains and help them to design solutions. We don't stop there. We architect the solution. We also have the implementation and engineering skills. We boast ourselves of having one of the best engineering skills in the country and have implemented maybe 100+ projects, 1,000+ projects in the country. And having a track record over 15 years, we believe saying that we have obtained a lot of expertise and capabilities around the domains we work with. We also have a managed service, and we also help customers post-implementation operational management as well. So we are one of the companies in the country. We do the entire stack of ICT services from strategy to post-implementation, manage and operations as well. How do we work? We have organized ourselves and as two pillars, large pillars in terms of solution stacking. In terms of solution, we believe saying that the infrastructure related solutions or the ICT system integration space, and also the digital transformation services space. As a service organization, we have this unique use case where one of the largest telecom customers in the country came to us 7-8 years back and said they are interested in putting up a tier 3 data center. And all what they gave us was a bare land. We got our global partners involved. We got our regional services experts involved. We did the full blueprint of how the data center would look like. And we got the local expertise to build the data center. We have operationalized it, but we didn't stop there. We also helped our customers to gain business or gain value through putting our solutions hosting in the data center as well. So the message what we want to bring here is saying that we as a organization, we believe in partnerships. We believe in building the ecosystem around it and helping our customers to grow their business as well. On the digital transformation service, one unique use case I want to recall here is one of the local largest private sector bank came to us and said that we want to kind of digitalize our back office services. How do we do that? Again, we got our partner ecosystem to work with us, understood what the bank wanted to achieve in terms of the services they want to deliver. And today we have around 10+ complex business processes or the different lines of business processes automated using intelligent automation platform, one of our global partners. The bank has won a couple of awards for that, being one of the most innovative banks in the country. And we now are embarking into a new journey where they want to bring in intelligent automation into the partner ecosystem and the outside ecosystem as well. So we are extending the platform capabilities for them to extend more business and also gain value in terms of generating more revenue. As a digital services organization, we believe saying that there are a few key pillars in digital. One is being cloud ready, being machine first, and also definitely one of the underneath technologies is security. So we have built practices, we have built expertise, we have built engineering skills around these 3 areas, and we help our customers to go cloud, to be cloud ready, to gain the benefit of the cloud from a lift and shift perspective to get the services cloud ready native as well. And we have a full stack data management practice where we help customers to gain the most valuable insights from their digital data and revenue more, generate more revenue. We believe saying that no solution, no business solution is complete until we bring in the domain expertise around it. So we, as Enable, we have a lot of technology knowledge. We also have incorporated domain expertise into our technical skills. So therefore, when we serve a customer, we serve in terms of his industry, in terms of the operational excellence that he wants to achieve, and give them that blend of technology and business together. So therefore, the usage of the technology can be more relevant, more enhanced according to the business dynamics. So as I said, one unique case was the Tier 3 data center for one of the local banks. But apart from that, we also have been working with one of the largest terminal operators in Sri Lanka, giving them services to manage their services in terms of mapping the technology to meet their business requirements as well. And we are heavily working with government space as well. I think we are engaged with ICTA for a few of their initiatives. We are also working with Sri Lanka's Colombo Digital Financial Hub in working for how they can attract more investors digitally and give them business opportunities as well. In terms of collaboration, how we want to collaborate, while we want to open up Sri Lanka market to our counterparts in India, we also believe saying that we can do vice versa. You all have a lot of large projects that you all can offload businesses to us, and we also can be an entry point to the Indian counterparts for large turnkey projects such as UID. And we can look at ways of collaborating in generating business for either party. We'll leave the question and answers at the end as prescribed, and then we are ready to talk any future businesses in terms of collaboration. Thank you for the opportunity, and then we can further discuss.
Dr. Bala, you're on mute.
Sorry. Thank you, Ajit, and for such an insightful presentation. And thank you, Ms. Chiranti, for reminding that I was on mute. And it was quite an insightful in the middle of the presentation, very interesting. And now let me invite Oral IT to give their presentation. Over to Oral. Oral.
Give us a moment. Chamindri will share her screen.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Hi. Can everybody hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I hear you, Chamindri.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for having us as Oral IT as a part of your forum. Very insightful speeches thus far. So I'll try and live up to the standard. So the story at Oral IT really begins 14 years ago. We are an international technology-based company that has had the footprint of pioneering artificial intelligence in the country. And we are the largest IT employer in Sri Lanka with a staff of about 5,000 people who are dedicated to what we do. And we are also the only Sri Lankan company to have certain data security and protection standard certifications like the ISO 27001. Our global presence is expanded across 10 countries, but that's just the tip of the iceberg. I'll tell you what I mean by that in a bit. These are some of our global partners. Our business model very much focuses to build winning and successful long-term relationships. And that's where our our partners come into play. That's just one way of doing business, because we sincerely believe that the future is through collaboration and not through competition. So when I said I want to talk about the tip of the iceberg, we're actually the sister company to Ural Corporation, formerly known as Orange Electric, who's been in business for almost 100 years. And together we are present in 28 countries across 6 continents. And our sister company has built a strong presence and a footprint in the electrical and electronic sector. And together with our digital infrastructure at Oral IT and our artificial intelligence and software arm, we are really looking for, we're really looking to make a sincere, honest, ethical difference in the world through our expertise across so many sectors. This is just a summary of where we are right now. Like I mentioned, we are present in 28 countries and we have about 100,000 business partners. Well, that's just what being in business for 100 years do. We keep on building our network. So I'd like to speak to you about some of our accolades. So this was here, we were the best business solutions. So, you know, I'm speaking to you today, and your country, India, this sector is vibrant, it's accelerated, and it's unparalleled. So to have won this award as a company in Sri Lanka is truly an honor. We are also the largest exporter, but not just that, we are the best value added exporter, which means so much to us because we believe in sustainable exports that is sort of pronounced through value addition. So innovation and creativity is our main sort of drive behind the business. That is that really resonates with complex human problems. We exercise a degree of empathy, that is to understand where customers coming from, their problems, their integrative challenges, to really address them through technology. And through creativity and innovation, we have 5 business pillars, which is the labs, the BPM services, the Oral Studio, which very much caters into the $750,000 freelance sector in Sri Lanka. We have the Oral Cloud as our IT infrastructure and our academy. So in Oral Labs, AI is the center of our business. When we do artificial intelligence, we look at the whole spectrum, the whole value chain to understand and realize where the problems are, because AI is about simplifying processes, people's lives, therefore increasing profitability for businesses, if it's a business, and for people alike, just to make their life a little bit simple. So what we do at Oral IT is reverse engineer. When we identify a problem, we have our fully fledged research and development team to understand the problem in detail. And then we bring our data science expertise to work on methodology. We partner with universities around the world to develop the best methodology out there. And together with our BPM services, we sort of put out the best game-changing products of all time. So I'll talk to you a little bit about it in a bit. These are future-proof solutions in research and development. Our services in terms of software development, that is a very strong arm once again. Transformation consultancy, quality assurance, staff augmentation. We are heavily diversified business. Well, certainly because we've been in business for that long. These are the 12 sectors I've pronounced to you earlier. So health, fintech, agriculture is leading, and everything else follows through. But it doesn't. We're not sector focused. Our solutions are unlimited, and we just keep on building our strengths through addressing different problems faced by different sectors. This is our technology stack. I have about 50 for you right here. However, if the client requires a different technology stack, we do a 10-day lead time to study the technology and give exactly what the customer wants. This is where really Oral IT started. We started with a simple contract, which is now a game-changing product in the world. And we're the exclusive data annotator to the world's largest semiconductor company. And that is because we have a uniqueness and quality and precision in what we do. The data annotation and quality assurance is very much in our DNA. Yeah, this is one of a kind contract to our country, and we are just so happy and blessed to say that that's done in-house at Oral IT. These are some of our managed services. Like I said before, we are a diversified company. We're looking to stride into different sectors to capture wider markets, not just for growth, but also for expertise. And the fact that we have 5,000 people working with us, working for the company, and because we are very big on our ethical standards we practice in-house, we've just been able to diversify over and over and over again. So expectations for business in India is to acquire business, to invest in potential or established operations, and lastly, to start a new BPO operation. That's mine and Anne's contact details. You can let us know if you have any questions.
Thank you, Chamindrik. If I pronounce your name correctly, if not, then please pardon me. And
that's okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Dr. Naresh.
It was quite an insight listening to one of the largest company of Sri Lanka and the kind of work you are doing, the cutting edge technology you are developing. And without much ado, let me move on to the next distinguished panelist, and that is none other than Ms. Nandini Singh. And Nandini, she's the partner with IBM Consulting, and she's an accomplished business leader and currently heads the public sector, that is strategic sales in IBM. And she's responsible for India and South Asia. She has more than 25 years experience of working with governments and leading digital transformation in government, defense, healthcare, utilities, education, and has worked with companies like TCS, Wipro, Oracle, Autodesk, SAS, supporting government clients. For her passion, in addition to what all she does on the professional front, on the front of giving back to society, she, along with her husband, also run an NGO named Nishant, which is basically a de-addiction center and rehab center for drug and alcohol addicts in Gurgaon. And over to you, Nandini. Thank you very much for.
Thank you, Naresh. If I take liberty of calling you Naresh, everybody's calling you doctor. So, okay. So, without actually, I did not talk. I'm not going to talk about IBM. Quickly, I'll give you an overview without my slideshow. Slide will be mostly on public sector and the digital revolution. So I will be talking of IBM as we go on my presentation. So IBM, I'll just share first my screen to you, and then we can perhaps Can you see my slides?
The screen we can see.
Oh, is it not? You can't see the screen.
Yeah. Now the slide. Now the slides.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm Nandini, and of course, I was introduced by Naresh. I've been working in IT for last 25 years, and I'm going to talk about most of the time I'll be talking about digital revolution and how IBM has been able to participate in that digital revolution. I will not talk of IBM as an IBM because it's everybody knows IBM, and I will be talking about where all the processes and the changes which happened in society and world, how IBM participated in those changes. So it's not moving. What happened? Just hang on. Okay, so we have we all know there were four there were four industrial revolution. One was steam, then followed by electricity, electronics, IT, and digital, right? So when do you think IBM would have come in place? Which era in these four? Any guesses?
Now that you are asking, it must be steam engine itself.
I know. So it's not. It's like in between electricity and electronics and IT. Can you imagine that 1911, IBM formed its first organization, a small organization they started with, and they're through now, and we are in 2023 now. So that is why I said it will be a digital journey along with IBM I'm going to talk about. Now, when the digital journey happened, digital transformation, we called it at the start of the decade, or the decade we call it. Now it is called digital revolution. Prime Minister Narendra Modi, our Indian Prime Minister, called it a digital revolution. I'm not going to call it a transformation. So that is why I'm using. So what are the features or the forces or the consequence which will happen in digital revolution, which we have to take care? There are disruptive forces which keep happening. Then there are then after the disruptive forces come the consequences. What are the consequences which we bear, which we take forward and move forward with? These are the consequences which we suffer or make use of. Then there are these consequences lead to the challenges, and the challenges will lead to, of course, the opportunities. So here, when we talk of disruptive forces, it's beyond us. We talk of consequences, it is beyond us. But what are the challenges and then the opportunities? The companies like IBM and the rest of the companies who are there, which are esteemed company actually. They're small companies, Naresh, but they're amazing companies. When I was listening to them. So that is where our opportunities lie. Right. So when we come to disruptions, major challenges and emerging consequences, I will cover. Major society scale forces. What are the changing climate? I mean, you can see it, the global warming, then increasing urbanization. There's a pressure on our cities. It is estimated that in next 20 years, around 70 to 80% people will be in urban and the cities and the smaller cities. Imbalances in changing demographics. What do you think? When I think around 2 weeks back, I think we announced our census. It was unbelievable that almost 60 to 70% of our people lie in 25 to 60 years of age. That's the changing demographics of India and rest of the world. Complex geopolitical threats and conflicts. There are geopolitical threats all the time and conflicts happening. I needn't delve into that. All these, you would not believe it, all these affect our IT and digitalization, what we're talking about, digital information. We'll talk about it later. Then economic, I needn't talk. Economy affects how do we come up with the IT processes, changes in IT processes, bringing in the new technology. At the moment, we all see that there is a recession going on. So all these are going to affect. Then there is a lot of citizen centricity coming. Citizen wants more and more out of government. So then there's a data explosion. Then comes the cloud. So I'll talk about the technology later on. So these are the forces which will force us to go for all these challenges. These are the challenges which we're going to face. Long-term demand of services. As I told you, citizens are more demanding. Customers are more demanding. If you talk about customers, they're more demanding. There's a change in fiscal priorities and approach. There's a climate change. There's a future of workforce. Workforce there were blue-collared workforce, then there are gray-collared workforce, and then now there are white-collared and a gray-collared and mixing. So, and there is not, people don't trust their government, be it any government. I'm not talking of this government or the previous government or in Sri Lanka or for Sri Lanka or any other. The trust of government is low as far as, so all these things have to be taken care by public sector units and government. How to bring in more trust. What will be the future of the workforce? How are we going to take care of the climate change? How is it going to shift in the economy and the fiscal policies is going to affect us? And of course, the long-term demand of services. We do not want a short-term services here. Okay, again, it's not moving. I don't know what's wrong. Okay. What are the pressing challenges of the new era which we'll tackle? Challenge number one, quality of citizen services, security. We have to give securely and cost effectively. What are the challenge two which will come up with the challenges which I threw in the last slide? Partner in new ways to adapt and accelerate public view creation. Addressing physical and cyber threats. We talked about technology throughout this 2 hours or 1.5 hours. When there is a technology burst, when there are a lot of technologies being driven by everything, then there is a major challenge of cyber threats and vulnerability are exposed. That we have to take care. So all these three things in together, we can talk of technology. Technology looks lovely, but what happens when we go for technology in every area? Your fridge is connected, your television is connected, your drones are connected, your CCTV cameras are connected to the database. It's so easy for all of us to be open to vulnerability, not only in a house, but organizations. Government is mostly exposed. We have our defense, we have our finance, we have so much of database which is lying there and it is exposed. So how are the emerging consequences? How will this disruptions manifest in government? Now we will talk about government. There will be a demand of greater productivity and higher quality services. There'll be a demand which goes up, is of course, despite efficiency gain, the ability to cope up with the demands of government will be a question mark. Trust in government, they have to build a trust in government. And this is where technology, again, you'll be surprised, technology will be very much come to rescue them. New ecosystem, cross-boundary alliances, IBM, Fremont, New York, we have a headquarter. But we have a Singapore office, we have a Europe office. How are these boundaries? Then about opening up of globally, India going and talking about, we know more. Our children are studying in US, in Europe, in Russia. So all we are opening up our borders. Public-private partnerships will be increasingly, will be intrinsically systemic to the whole processes. Talent, of course, is essential. Talent, there'll be a paucity of talent. Then there'll be a frequency of the natural and man-made increases. I mean, we just heard about Joshimath. All these will throw up lot of technology requirement. Now, what are the opportunities? Now, the opportunities that is where our technology companies and IBM companies like IBM and all rest of the companies who are here representing will be interested. We talked about artificial. There's, I think, 1 or 2 companies represented artificial intelligence. IBM is is there, giving you analytics. Cloud, we are a hybrid cloud company. We are the one who coined this hybrid cloud word. Cybersecurity, foremost. Mobility. If you want an app on your laptop, I also want to get connected on a mobile. Blockchain, supply chain should be there. There should be tokenization happening. Hyperlocal, geolocation. We can, at the same time, location and going hyperlocation is also very much required in the application. API and microservices. IoT, automation of advanced robotics. We talked about, I think, one of the companies talked about advanced robotics. So now, why am I talking about all this? IBM is in each of them when you tick mark. We also have, we tie up, we grow organically and inorganically. We also, if we do not have a core competency in any one of the area, we have a company we either tie up with or we acquire or we go ahead, but the solution is to be given to the public sector or manufacturing or any other organization. So this is what IBM does. Now scale the services, achieve sustainability, empower the workforce, modernize cybersecurity, develop ethical data technology practice. When we talk, it looks very nice when we are talking of AI. It is a very, you have a swag when you talk about cybersecurity, but it requires real meat there to actually give all these looking at the 5 vulnerability areas for us. This is what the government should look like. I think I've talked before as well. This is what government should look like, and there should be a cloud encircling, and this is the platform they should work on, and they should be integrated. I will not go into detail. At the to give seamless public services, this is the platform we should work on, taking into account challenges, the disruptive forces, the challenges, and the opportunities which it will throw up. This is a little bit, I'll just talk about one slide, IBM. We have an open architecture. We give a governed data, deploy anywhere. We can deploy it anywhere. Industry standards, we follow all the industry standard. Optimized IT operation we take care of. We do not talk about products. We do not talk about platforms. We do not talk about which cloud. We are agnostic. There we go. And this is how we restore citizen trust. We give government the best solutions and maintain an accelerated, yet governance, and of course, security at the core is the more, I'm again saying security is the core requirement here at this thing. This is how, if you can see this, I will not talk about in detail. This is how we work. This is how IBM works. I will not talk of IBM much here. That's it. Thank you.
Oh, that's really very insightful. In fact, amazing is the word. There's so much, and on a philosophical level, you kept moving us from technology to thought process provoking, and I think it was very nice. And I once again thank you. And let me now move on to the most awaited question and answer session. And the house is open for the questions. And kindly put your questions in the chat box so that we can ask our experts to take those on. Yeah. In fact, while the questions are coming in, let me tell you, I myself feel so learned today that almost all kind of technologies are being developed, managed, and operationalized in Sri Lanka. And I mean, it was wonderful. Okay, so we haven't yet got a question. Anyone would like to ask straight away? You may give them the mic, or we'll wait. Maybe. Yes.
Dr. Bana?
Yes.
Sarath Abhishekari?
Yes, Dr. Sarath.
I'm sorry, I was not on the video. Just a simple question. None of these companies have or intend to have any investment or offices in the newly built port city in Sri Lanka? Can anyone answer?
Which companies you are talking about? The Sri Lankan companies or the...
I'm talking about Indian companies. Sri Lankans, not many have invested.
Maybe I can answer that question before I hand over. I can just add on. See, as far as port city is concerned, we are aware that there is a lot which has to be done, whether it is policy, law, so many issues are there, which possibly are yet to be addressed. So with that, the awareness level about the port city and the possibilities is certainly very less. And with that, I would request any one of the two panelists who are from India to whether they have heard about port city in Sri Lanka, and if they have any comments on that.
Let me answer, Naresh. In one of my previous organization, Mr. Sarath, I was working. Yeah. So Microsoft and SAS, we had a office there, but we were planning to shift, I think, to Port City, and we were talking about it. But I think whatever I understood from there, we stopped all. After that, it will be some time before we go back to that to open up. But there were talks. I'm talking about 5 years, 6 years back.
Yeah, the Port City remains a work in progress, as I understand.
Well, can I make a comment on that?
Yeah.
I think quite a few local and foreign investors with whom we deal with have been lamenting about publicity and regulatory framework, act of parliament should be invoked, things like this. And because of that, I think that is why there's a reluctance to come in. We need to highlight to the government and also to the, is there anybody in this forum from BOI or EDB should tell the decision makers that they need to accelerate this process. That is my concern, and I'm also, Sri Lankans are also very apprehensive about it.
Yeah, let me also, while we are talking, introduce Dr. Sarath. Dr. Sarath is former chairman of Colombo Port Trust, and he is also Indo-Sri Lanka Chambers chief executive and vice president based in Colombo. So, and his concern for the country is reflected by his writings on groups in media, and he's, I think, one of the most concerned person to address the situation which is prevailing at the moment. Any other questions? Okay.
Dr.
Ladies
Bala,
and gentlemen,
if I may ask you one question. These companies presented, and I think most of those companies mentioned that they would like to collaborate with Indian companies. If you could, maybe whoever is in this forum, to kind of say what would be the best method for them to collaborate with Indian companies. It could be for in terms of a partnership or any other manner. What would be the best method?
Nandini, can I request you to take that
Yeah,
on?
I was, yeah, it's I'll tell you, Chitranti, we might just how much we sound to be very, that we have here for society, we are here for, at the end of the day, they're all businessmen, right? If it makes sense for us, I look after India, South Asia. We are working we are working for a company in Maldives. A government of Maldives. We are also working for Philippines, and of course China, Singapore, we are there. But Nepal also, we get few projects if they are ADB funded and all. It's about where the money is, right? I'm sorry, I'm being very open on this. They will only go once there are projects coming in, and you have to, I think, try very hard to bring back industry there. Whether you want to do conferences, that goes for Dr. Sarath as well. Whether you want to do conferences, you have to lure them back, right? I remember having an office in Autodesk. I don't know whether you know that company. It is into 3D applications and all. We set up an office there, but that was around 8 years back. But at the moment, wherever I'm again, nobody even talking about Sri Lanka. So that branding of Sri Lanka has to happen, and ADB has to fund a lot of projects. And once that comes in, I think companies will come in. Investment doesn't sure without any giving a return on investment. I think I'm being upfront here. Without having a return on investment, I think, Chitranti ji, you have to see how you can do some conferences, call back people, call back industry again. And I think there shouldn't be a problem.
Okay. Can I also request Arunji to give your views on that? Because
yeah, sure. I was just thinking about it. Rightly said by Nandini. But I would like to add on, let's see what are the sweet spots. I mean, what is the requirement that exists there, which I can fulfill? So it all depends on the requirement analysis first. And if I can fulfill, then money will automatically come in. That is how I have put it in. The investments will come in, everything will come in, business will be feasible, but there has to be a requirement existing there. So if we see there is a requirement in education, if we see there is a requirement in health, if we see there is a requirement in digitization, that is e-governance, or in infrastructure, things will happen on their own. We have seen that happening during COVID time, right? In 2020, when suddenly there was all across, everything came down, everything went online suddenly, right? Your teleconsultation went online, your education went online, okay? And in a country like India, where there were no medical guidelines for telecommunication within few days, I mean, couple of days, we saw the government of India announcing guidelines for medical health, the teleconsultancy. So, I mean, when necessity exists, everything happens. So let's find out what kind of requirement is there in Sri Lanka.
Great. So I would like to add, as a PPP specialist myself, that from that point of view, that one of the major risks today, which still prevails, slightly it has reduced, but the political risk for any investor remains, which is a major stumbling block. And as rightly pointed out by Arunji and Nandiji, that it is the business which will drive the investment, right? So if there is a return on investment or return on effort also, something will happen. So the initiative will have to be coming from the Sri Lankan polity, the business leaders, and thereafter investment or the initiative from across the borders will surely be there. People are looking for business everywhere, and it is not difficult to give them a conducive atmosphere. Only that certain decision, managerial decision, political decisions are required. You'd like to add anything, Chairman sir? You are muted.
Naresh, I totally agree with you. Sri Lankan economy has been through a very turbulent phase, but the silver lining is that it is looking up. And, the sheer fact that we are having this webinar, and this is the second version of the same technology webinar, talks of the fact that there is a very strong desire of our brethren in Sri Lanka to come out of this morass as soon as possible. So that's a silver lining, and I'm sure where the will is there, solutions will be found.
Thank you, sir. We have one question which has come, and this is from Charita. That is, we all know that cloud solutions are being used by a lot of organizations globally. My question is that what is the possibility of AI integration to cloud solutions in the future? Now, this question has already been answered by Tivanka from Anadoc, and he says, we all know that cloud solutions are being used by a lot of organizations. Then he says, my question is, what is the possibility of AI integration to cloud solutions in the future? Currently, there are so many cloud solutions that AI and ML are having at the core. This is already out there in the market. So Charita has seemed to be satisfied with that answer. If anybody would like to add anything to it, you're most welcome. All right. So we have overshot our time limit a little bit. May I now request Mr. Sachindra Samarratne, Associate Chief Digital Economy Officer of ICTA, to give the closing remarks, please. Over to you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bana. And thank you so much to the Indo-Sri Lanka Chamber of Commerce for facilitating this, and so that we heard so many hopeful things about how digital is changing the world. And to add to a ray of hope, as we have been discussing earlier, on a bit about Sri Lanka before I move forward to my thanking notes. A few closing remarks about where Sri Lanka is right now. In terms of our digital strategy, we have embarked on formulating a digital strategy looking at 2030 with the assistance of the World Bank, with the invitation of the President, which is currently being done and will be launched in November. And many sectors that are already opened up, but will also have a direction, which, as was mentioned, how India can work with Sri Lankan partners, especially in the area of BFSI, education, health, agriculture, travel, and information security will be detailed out in a plan. One a really good news that I can share with you, especially in the agriculture space, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation have committed for a 2.5 year project, which we are formulating the digital agriculture strategy for Sri Lanka. And it's the Pricewaterhouse India team and the Sri Lankan team together who has come with us, and also GDI partners, also from India, who's working with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation in formulating this strategy and also its implementation. And that is one sector which already has started to open up in terms of digital agriculture space, and this will open up a heap of opportunities for many partners to be part of the work that is taking place under the digital agriculture strategy. Health also has developed a blueprint with the support of different agencies, and will also open up many avenues where we can get involved. Education has formulated the digital education policy, which is at the cabinet in a few weeks, which will also open up such opportunities. And travel and tourism, with the support with working with the Ministry of Tourism Promotions Bureau, will also be formulating a similar strategy in the future to come, especially because of the approach and direction that Sri Lanka did have for many long number of years. And hopefully we will see certain strategies coming to fruition, of course, with implementation in the sectoral approach. I would like to invite you to visit Sri Lanka during the month of October and November, which has been dedicated by the President as the month of DigiCon, or digital economy, which will have a series of exhibitions, conferences, a digital investment summit, and many other workshops planned during that particular month, planning or working towards inculcating Industry 5.0 values in our digital economy, which opens up an invitation to our partners, to those who are interested in India, to look at those market opportunities in Sri Lanka. So there will be exhibiting opportunities. There will be an opportunities to speak in the panel of the National IT Conference, exhibition opportunities at Infotel, which is our premier IT exhibition in Sri Lanka. There will be a digital investment summit for those investors or investor funds who want to look at opportunities, because we will be rallying the best technology companies, 60 of them, for matchmaking sessions, round robin sessions, with those who would like to look at investment deals in Sri Lanka. In terms of some of the things which are working out even right now, we have companies from Europe and Australia setting up businesses in Sri Lanka. Even during the chaotic period that we've had companies growing from like 300 to 1,200 people in the BPM space, and some in the IT space. And we are thankful for some of those technology companies who have set up shop in Sri Lanka, who are based in other countries, which have committed for their growth. We saw EY, Global Delivery Center, also setting up in Sri Lanka, looking at the 2000 man operation. I'm just sharing some of these news to give confidence to those who are here, our friends from India, that countries and companies are still having that confidence. No company has pulled out from Sri Lanka, even during the chaos situation. And we've seen how digital has changed or supported for us to come out of a very chaotic situation which we went through, which was the fuel crisis. And with the fuel pass application, which is very famous in Sri Lanka, we used digital to come out of a very difficult phase. And so with that, I would like to end in terms of my comments, inviting our friends in India to look at the opportunity during the month of October and November and plan your itinerary, of course, with travel. We will work with Ministry of Tourism. We will work with Sri Lankan Airlines. We will work with hotel operators to have special packages organized for this particular 2 months during October and November. And Chiranti would be the point person for you to get in contact with in terms of if you look at exhibition space at Infotel or panelist opportunities at the conference, we could definitely put you in touch with the organizers and do that correspondence. So with that note, I would like to especially thank our chairman, General Lumba, for his address. Thank you to the first Secretary Commercial of the High Commission of Sri Lanka in India, Mr. Geshan Disanayaka. And thank you for the wonderful speech, Ms. Nandini Singh from IBM and also Mr. Arun from TCIL. Thank you for those who presented Sri Lankan companies or LIT, Enable, TMS, and Enodoc. And we really hope that fruitful collaboration will take place because of this engagement, this facilitation which took place. Thank you very much, Dr. Naresh Bana, for a wonderful facilitation that you have done during the past 1.5 hours and for bringing out into light and giving all of us the hope of collaboration. Without the hope of collaboration, especially in solving issues that Ms. Nandini also brought out in terms of climate change, in terms of global crisis that we are facing. It's only with collaboration that we can work towards these common solutions for common problems. And finally, I would like to thank our wonderful team headed by Shiranti Balapatabendi, Charit, Jazan, Gaini, and Dinusha for putting this together and taking this initiative forward even during tough times. Once again, thank you to all who participated, who attended this and asked questions, and wish you all a very pleasant evening.
Thank you. A big thank you to all. And with that,
thank you very much.
We end this. Ayu Bhavan and Namaste.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.